The member for Sydney.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Before coming to office, the Liberals promised Australians their power bills would drop by $550 a year. They didn't. This year, the Prime Minister promised that wholesale
Member for Sydney will resume her
prices
seat. Members on my right will cease interjecting. The Treasurer will cease interjecting. The member for Sydney will begin her question again. The clock will start again.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Before coming to office, the Liberals promised Australians their power bills would drop by $550. They didn't. This year, the Prime Minister promised that wholesale gas prices would halve. They haven't. And yesterday it was revealed that the Prime Minister's latest energy policy might only reduce the power bills of Australians by a lousy 50 cents a week in 3 years' time. Why would the Australian people believe anything this Prime Minister says about energy prices?
The Minister for Energy and the Environment.
Well, Mr Speaker, thank the member for her question, and I can read from an ACCC report. I can read from an ACCC report which says about the abolition of the carbon tax, the Commonwealth Treasury's estimated $550 cost saving to households is reasonable, Mr Speaker. So there we go. The Labor Party again telling a mistruth like the one that they repeated in this House about a $1,000 increase, which went against the advice of the Australian Energy Regulator and other agencies, which they haven't had the courage to repeat in this place, Mr Speaker. And we have been very successful in not just abolishing the carbon tax, but also in seeing the wholesale spot price for gas come down from about $12 at the beginning of this year to about $7 right now, Mr Speaker, and putting pressure on the Queensland Labor government to rein in CS Energy and Stanwell, who were engaged in uncompetitive bidding practices. And as a result of that direction, we saw wholesale electricity prices in Queensland fall by about 25%, Mr Speaker. And then, of course, the work the Prime Minister did with retailers. And I can inform the House that a family of four from Turramurra in Sydney, with electricity costs of just under $2,800 a year, used the government's Energy Made Easy website, switched suppliers, and as a result will save around $650 a year, Mr Speaker. And about a family of 3 students who are living in St Kilda in Melbourne with electricity costs of about $1,420 a year. And they used the Victorian electricity website and they saved around $230 a year, Mr Speaker. And there was a family of 3 living in Ashgrove in Brisbane, and they had electricity costs of about $2,850 a year. And as a result of the Prime Minister's intervention and promotion of the ability to switch retailers and contracts, they used the government's Energy Made Easy website, they switched suppliers, and as a result they'll save about $630 a year, Mr Speaker. And we know that under our proposal, recommended to us by the Energy Security Board, the savings to households will be better than the ones that were promoted by the Clean Energy Target, which the member for Port Adelaide described himself as a second-best option. So, Mr Speaker, the Labor Party is isolated. They are standing alone in opposition to the recommendation from the experts. The industry, the big users, the industry organisations have all come around to support this initiative as one that will deliver reliable,
The Minister's
affordable
time has
power.
concluded. The member